Welcome to Chapter 4, Studying a Language. Each language has its own culture, and sometimes you can have the same language spoken in different countries, like let's say English speaking in the US and UK, Australia, even India, but the culture changes the meaning of the same words. And also there are some aspects of the culture, concepts that are different when it comes to politeness, for example, in Hungarian and French, the way you talk to somebody who you respect more, let's say an elder or somebody you don't know, you use a different word for you. So like the second person, singular or plural. In English, it's the same word. So you don't have that differentiation. While in English, it's very simple. So if somebody, let's say, only spoke English and learns some French words, but doesn't know that there's this difference in that language, then they wouldn't know how to use the right words to convey the right meaning on the other side. So the French person might think, oh, this person is being so rude. And so having this concept also expands your mind, because before you had a certain way of doing things. Now you see that in another language they do things differently. So there's more than one way to do things, and they're both right. So this kind of expansion of a perspective will help you in other situations as well. So when you come across something unexpected, instead of being like, oh, this is strange, this is not good, this is wrong, then you know, like, maybe it's just different. This is one of the most important breakthroughs people can do, have understanding that what's different is just different, not good or not better or worse. Also, when it comes to certain ideas, they have more nuanced ways of conveying it. And depending on if a certain aspect is important for a certain culture, let's say in the Inuit cultures close to in the Arctic Circle, snow is a big part of their life. So there are many ways, many words to describe snow in different states. Where in English, you have snow. And also in Hungary, we love our meat and sausages, and we have specific words for sausage type. So when I tried to translate to some of my friends what we're eating, I was at a loss, because sausage was a certain kind of sausage in Hungary, I was thinking, and then the other kind of sausage, like, oh, there must be a word, but there wasn't. So what this means is that there are some concepts that are obvious to you may just not exist in another culture. One more example is the Aboriginal culture in Australia. The way they are asking how you doing is by cardinal directions. Is oh, how you doing? Or I guess the question is where you going, which is how you're doing, and they say, oh, I'm going northwest. And so for them, they have an always on orientation. They always know which way they're facing. While for me, when I drive, I mean, sometimes I have no idea, but I'm comfortable with that, because it's not part of my everyday life when I use GPS when I get lost. When it comes to the same word having different meanings, one good example is when Marcus went to China to do business, he had an interpreter. Back then, you had no choice, and that interpreter did the work of language and culture translation. Now, when his business expanded to India, he was happy to find out that the people he dealt with spoke English as well. So he was thinking, oh, this is so good, this is going to be easy. So when he was asking Abdul when the delivery of this furniture he was ordering was going to be done, he asked, is it going to be ready next week? Abdul said yes. Now, so he thought he went back home, oh, this is perfect, I'll have the material next week. What he did not understand is that for Abdul, the saying yes did not mean the same thing. For Marcus was yes, meaning yes, it will be delivered next week. For Abdul, it was yes, I understand you. But coming back to the culture, he did not feel comfortable saying, like going against that, or sharing some bad news perhaps. So a week later, when the furniture was not ready, Marcus was in for a surprise. So the advantage of speaking in another language is obviously it expands your mind. But it's even useful if you don't use that specific language. So let's say you learn French, but you end up working in Colombia or China. or they have that expanded mind. And when you do use the language, it can help you build more deeper, genuine relationships with people. Because if somebody, they might speak your language or whatnot, but if you speak their language, when it comes to deeper relationship, friendships, you can meet them in their comfort zone. So if they would, let's say, in the Netherlands, and many speak Dutch. Sorry, many of them speak English, but if you want to have that deeper relationship, then you need to learn their language. So as an exercise, if you don't speak a second language yet, pick a language and pick a class. It could be easy, hard, doesn't matter. What's the language that you always wanted to learn or you're fascinated by? So find a class, find a course, and sign up. And if you speak another language already, identify the cultural differences that you can find between the languages that you speak. What is different in the way they approach it? Is it a concept that's present in one, that's not in the other one, or just think about the way some situations are, the words are being used. In China, for example, danger is the same word as opportunity or something along those lines. So that already, the meaning of the word already sets your mind up for a certain approach. And also look for words that don't exist, are hard to translate, or don't have a translation concepts. So write this down and come and share them in the group. Looking forward to hearing what language you're picking up or what you find.